Welcome to Shade and the City. I'm your girl Treese.
It's Nels.
And today we are here to give y'all the recap of the Braxtons season 1, episode 3, Family Matters. Yes, y'all.
Look at you. You on time.
Look, it must be those black girl vitamins, okay? But yeah, y'all. So we're here to do this recap. Like I literally just watched something before I came up here. And yeah, I'll spill a little tea about that a little later as we get into the recap. But yeah, y'all. So if you haven't already, all of our new viewers and our returning Shade Squad, y'all go ahead and hit that like button for us
and that subscribe button.
Y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. And I'm gonna try not to be shady.
Good luck with that.
All right, y'all. So before we get into it, just want to shout out some of our commenters, outthinkers. I don't know where you've been, but thank you for returning, dropping down in the comments for this one. Appreciate it. Missed you. And as well as Yan, I'm sure I'm messing up the pronunciation of your name. I believe it's Yanya. I know you corrected me before in the chat and when we were live, because this is one of Really B's subs as well. But yeah, thank you for coming over and tuning in to the recap for the Braxtons. We appreciate you, migrating, sharing the wealth. We appreciate y'all. So yeah. But okay, so we basically start this episode off. Mama E meets up with Tamar. No, that is not the right. Trina and Tawanda. So they can have a drink after last night's grief counseling. Tawanda gets a call from Kevin at the correctional facility. Kevin says that he's been arrested for failure to appear in court. So Tawanda says that it stems from the messy divorce that he's going through. The family attorney is looking into it, and they reassure him that he has their support. Mama E admits that she doesn't really know what's going on with little Kevin, but imagines that everything he's going through leads back to the loss of his mother. So Tawanda asked their thoughts on the last therapy session. They aren't sure how to feel, but Tawanda says that she thought it was good because you can't move forward if you don't talk about the issues. And I was like, that's right. And I believe it was my boy, shout out to LTV, that said, you can't you can't heal what you won't talk about. And I said, that's right. Okay. So, yeah, then Trina says that she plans to see Spirit on her own, and Tawanda advises her that she needs to be going like once a week. Now, I will say, I feel like that's true, like sister friend love, because you could even see like Tawanda was like, I didn't mean it, and Trina was like, it's okay. Like she received it basically how Tawanda said. She didn't take, but let me tell you, that was such a Virgo thing. Like literally as they were sitting there doing it, and I was like, I could literally see Nell sitting there and deliver it just like Tawanda did.
I ain't seen
but it's coming from the bottom of her heart. She doesn't, it can come off a little shady and direct, but that's not how she meant it.
To be honest with you, I didn't even
she was like, no, I support your this would have been my response. Oh, that's, you know what? I'm really happy that you're doing that. But what I'm not going to do is come behind and say, and you need to be going like once a week. It was the frequency for me. She already said she's taking a step to do it. And then you're like, no, you need to go like once a week. I was like, oh, okay, Tawanda.
Well, because I think she said she needs to go. I don't remember how she responded, but like I'm gonna just say maybe she said something like she needs to go more often or every once, something like that, where it wasn't so frequent. And to be honest with you, when Tawanda was like, I mean, I didn't mean it no type of way. Really, I didn't even know why she said that, because I didn't even see it as her saying it no type of way. When she said, and I think you need to go once a week, I really didn't see it as like shady. But I mean, she know her sister. I was just like, I guess she know her sister, because I didn't see it no type of way.
You can, and like I said, y'all drop down in the comments, let me know what y'all think. But I was like, oh, that was definitely a Virgo moment.
You know why I think I didn't see it no type of way, because she was also the one that told her ahead of time,
That she
you're not
wasn't able to deal.
not
Yeah.
strong enough to handle this. And when she still went through with it, she's like, "Boo, I told you you wasn't built like that. So now you have to go to grief counseling to deal with this." And I think you should go once a week. So I guess I didn't see it as like it could even come off shady, I guess.
Well, regardless, Trina doesn't take any offense to it, and admits that it would be good for her. So Mama E talks about being hurt by the fact that Tracy did ask them, to get along, and nobody's honoring what she asked for. Tawanda questions if they're still dealing with the loss of their sister, and that's why they're not necessarily getting along. She says she leaves the past in the past and moves forward, and she's just respecting everyone's boundaries. And I was like, that's absolutely a dig at Tamar. I'm telling you, it's the Virgo was Virgoing on Tawanda, okay? And y'all know, and look, we happen to be in Virgo season, if y'all don't know. I'm surprised somebody ain't said it yet. Maybe because it's not September.
Well, no, because I mean, hello. Everybody named Mama got to know it's Virgo season. Everybody know when Beyonce birthday is. Everybody know when Kobe birthday is. Everybody know when Michael birthday is. We know it's Virgo season. Okay. Everybody know it's Virgo season. There's no need to say it.
Okay, so what did any thoughts about that scene outside of anything that I relayed or said?
I do like the fact that even before them saying it, before Tawanda saying it, she does recognize that yes, grief counseling will help her. She should go more. I just feel bad for her.
Okay, so then let me ask two questions. So let me ask you this: do you feel like everybody deals differently? Do you feel like Tawanda is covering up a little bit? Because I feel like she's always been the one, kind of like Tracy, to hold everything together, make sure everybody's good, make sure Tony's good, make sure what I mean. And I feel
Virgo in her.
Right.
The thing is, I think to be honest, I think all of them. I think they all need grief counseling, and it may be harder for Tawanda to recognize it because in her mind, she's probably feeling like she has it all together. She's, keeping things together. She's looking out for Trina, and that's her job or whatever. She's looking out for Kevin Jr. That's her job. So I think it just might be hard for her to recognize that she may need grief counseling. But honestly, I think they all do. I think they all need grief counseling. I think Trina just may need it more frequently.
I agree. And then second one, I don't know if you guys saw on the internet after episode 2, it might have been episode 1, and there has been this big debate, and y'all weigh in, drop down in the comments. But I gotta ask my co-host, who do you feel, if anyone, is the real villain? Now, some people, after the whole Tamar and Tawanda exchange, some people really feel like Tawanda is the villain. Some people feel like Mama E is the real villain of this story.
We're talking about between the three of them? Between the three of them?
I guess they're just the family in general. Who's the real, and so I have heard a lot of people say Mama E and what she went through, and I guess how she wanted her girls to choose sides. And because it's funny, but and I feel so bad because I forgot who said it, but they connected it or they related it to Nell, and how, remember when Dr. Francis said it starts at the root? Mm-hmm. And you see how Nell reacts and is very da 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 da. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see how her kids are with her and they're not. And so it just makes me wonder, is Mama E the real villain? Because she's the ones that's raised all these girls. And so, but at the end of the day, I understand what she's saying. They're all 5 separate individuals, and there is only so much I can do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, some of the people on the internet said Mama E is the villain, and I said, well, I think that's harsh. And I can't necessarily say I think Tawanda is a villain. I will say I do think that Tamar plays victim. I'm not gonna say she's the villain, but I do think she plays victim a lot. And y'all know again, Team Pisces. Y'all know I love Tamar, but I can be honest with y'all that we can be very dramatic and to our own detriment. To our own detriment.
I can't call any of them a villain. And you're gonna say I'm being biased. But I
No,
can't.
I really wanted your opinion on the, because I saw it being asked on the internet, and I was like, I wonder what Chanel's opinion is.
To be honest, I feel like they all have their own valid views. I think they all have their own valid points. So I can't just take like one side. And I felt where Tamar was coming from, like when they got into it, where she was like, I reach out to you, you don't hit me back. She feels lonely or whatever. She doesn't feel like her sister is really there for her. And Tawanda feels like she's respecting her space. She feels like Tamar does too much, and I'm gonna just leave you where you are. So honestly, I understand both sides. So I don't feel like either one is the villain. I don't feel like Mama E is the villain, and I just feel like everybody just has their own valid views.
Mm. Well, then basically Trina says her ability and willingness are two different things. And if they don't want to participate, she can't do anything about it. Basically, Mama E admits that she believes things have changed after the ladies got on camera. And that basically she points out Tony, Tawanda, and Tamar are the ones that really basically have the issues. And I mean, I hate to say it, I was like, I nailed it. Because she said Trina's the only one that's open to like, and no, like, even when I say I really like this episode, the whole time I was like, this is why I love Trina. Like, I really do like her. I always have, but I really feel like I know the voice, the whatever
about what she
about
said.
about.
You.
leave my girl about.
I was
So
like, oh my God. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was feeling so bad for her this episode. Like, I was like, yeah, girl, like, I feel you. Like, you was going through some stuff. And then when she just started talking, I'm just like, but I really can't. I really can't. I can't really feel bad for you. I just want you to just be there and just be sad and don't say nothing. Just don't talk.
you're terrible. And then they get up and leave. Of course. Oh, she's what, December 3rd? She's a Sagittarius. Wow, I didn't see that coming.
Who, Trina?
I didn't realize that. It just made me wonder because I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I can
You
really.
just looked it up.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So then, basically, they leave Trina with the bill because Miss F said, I can't pay. Tony would have a fit. Why would I? And they were like, well, why would you tell Tony that you paid? And she was like,
Because I'm a snitch.
right.
Why wouldn't I?
So
That sounds crazy.
but I loved it. It was cute. Like I said, they always try to, but it was a real conversation. I like that they, were able to lighten the mood a little bit this particular episode. And just, again, I didn't think it would be any other way. It's just sad that when they all get together, they can't have these type of constructive conversations. It has to have so much tension. And it's just sad. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but even last episode, I really do kind of feel bad for Tamar because it really do seem like she's, and I guess we're going to get into that, but it really do seem like she's out here by herself because even Tony, remember her and Tony used to be so close because they were the ones that were in LA. And Tony said it last episode. She's trying to understand her sister, but she can't. And I think she's put up not a wall, but she's also so concerned about her own health.
I was about to say that I can't even be mad.
She doesn't have the energy.
I can't even.
No shade. Pisces can take a lot of your energy. We can take a lot of your energy. So we can also put a lot into you, but we can also drain a lot of it. So
that's why I said I feel like they all have their own valid views. And I know a lot of people were talking about how Tamar was like being a crybaby basically last episode, and I didn't feel that way because she feels like she's out there alone. She feels like she's by herself, and I felt like she's felt like that way for a long time.
Wow.
Like
but I love that Trina, and that's why I said Trina, I'm gonna keep tooting her horn because you see her actually making an active effort. And if I'm not mistaken, on Braxton Family Values, that wasn't necessarily the case. Trina was like, I'm good if it is what it is. And I feel like she's maybe, I don't know if it was because of Tracy's passing or what clicked in her, but like she said, she's the one that she actively goes to try to work on their individual relationship as sisters. And I think that's super dope.
Yeah. Speaking of Tony, she flew to LA to meet with her manager and music supervisor to go over the plans for the show that she's doing with Cedric the Entertainer. She's discussing with them basically what's going to be the easiest way, to do this show, because she's concerned about her health. Now, her supervisor basically let her know that he'll do whatever he needs to do. He will cut the show short if he needs to,
right,
to make sure that her health is intact. Tamar, she went to go visit Miss E in Atlanta because she said, Tracy was going through her battle. When Tracy was going through her battle, basically she noticed that her mom was out there alone, and she didn't like that. Okay, Miss E told her that apparently they had some park, and she went for a walk in this park with some man, and I don't know why she told her to Tamar.
Let's take a long walk around the park.
She said it's her male friend.
Mm-hmm.
And she done told the wrong one, because Tamar gonna be all up in your business. That's
Absolutely.
what Tamar want to know. Tamar want to know who her mom out there walking in the park with. It better not be after dark, Miss E. Okay, won't play them games. Now, apparently, Tamar and Miss E, they have a cooking show called All That Deliciousness. Okay, and they're about to shoot their final episode. Tamar said that it's been her favorite project thus far, outside of writing her book. Apparently, she is doing a autobiography or self-help book. She doesn't know the name of it yet. She hasn't come up with it. She was thinking about calling it Under Construction.
I absolutely love that title. I was with Mama E on it.
She said because she's constantly under construction, and Miss E thinks that that's an amazing title for the book. Miss E thinks that it's a great therapy for her. But that doesn't change the fact that Tamar feels that she's the type that is going to constantly need to be in therapy. She said it's like somebody for an AA meeting. She got to go to her meetings. And I think that's good. I'm glad that she recognized that.
Oh, amen. Now,
she's had her battles as well.
I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to try not to be shady. I just feel like, okay. I absolutely love that we're preaching the mental health and the therapy. And you know how we love that here on this channel. Okay. Mm-hmm. However, I got to talk about the elephant in the room. Sometimes I feel like, and I ain't gonna, but I don't want to put it on him because it's you as the person. But sometimes I feel like that man is not good for her mental health. I feel like it is a trigger for her. I feel like that's why we see her go left every time. Like, and it's not good for her mental health. It's not. And so it's crazy when she talks about and JR.
JR, yeah.
Or Colonel Sanders, to some people. That's inappropriate, I guess. We shouldn't say that. But the point is that when you see how she goes off and just has these, I don't know. Again, she's a work in progress. She's still under construction. And I love that she can admit to that. But sometimes the decisions she makes and how she moves, it's just like, are you doing things that are benefiting you? That are, what do they say? That are serving you. Are you doing things and dealing with people that are serving you? And I just don't know. And she claimed, and that's her boo and whatever. But I just know every time I see her go out the deep end or see her online doing the most, it's usually behind this man.
But I don't know if we can blame JR for that, because
that's what I'm saying. I don't even know, but I don't think it's helping her
history of this.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's helpful to this. This is her own. And I feel like being in therapy, she should be able to recognize that, is what I'm saying.
I think that's whether she's in a relationship or not.
In the words of Kempire, she want to like Bay Yang man, then let her,
Not Bay Yang. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so Tony's rehearsing for her residency in Las Vegas. It's awesome to see Tony in her element. I will say that. Tawanda calls Tony after her rehearsal, lets her know that little Kevin was released, and says that she tried to call him, but he didn't answer. So she plans to check on him. And she dropping in, okay? Again, that's my type of crazy. Me and Tawanda could ride or die, be right with him. Okay, and So she lets her know that Trina plans to continue with her grief therapy with Spirit. And she asks Tony when she plans to go and says, Tony says the feeling was just a little too heavy for her when she got back home. And she basically deflects and doesn't even want to talk about it. And as to Nels's point, I think everybody still needs to be in grief counseling, but it seems like,
I
and
think even
only because you know what's
all of them.
What happened?
I think even Miss E, I think they all do.
Yeah. And the only thing that I could think about when she said that, or she was deflecting, I know it was heavy for her, but I also know that, and I'm sure we all know that stress will kill you faster than anything else. It will create viruses, it will create diseases inside your body. Right. So I just worry about Tony not addressing or dealing with it, especially with all her ongoing health issues that she already has. So that was the only thing that I kind of popped up on my radar. And then we see Tamar and Mama E. They're shooting their cooking show. They talk about the peace and the healing that they all get from cooking. Trina shows up to support, and of course to eat, because like she said, she been eating everybody's emotions and
to make her drinks.
And not to mention that I told y'all, I actually have been tuning into, because like I said, I love Trina, but I've been tuning into her channel, and her and Vaughn doing their cooking thing, and it's really cute. And so clearly Mama,
her drinks actually look really good.
Oh no, and her drinks. And to Mama E's point, I guess that's something she instilled in most of them, but we can definitely see it in Trina and Tamar, because I've always seen Tamar throw it down on IG or on her, following her or whatever. And I didn't think I knew Trina could cook like that until I started watching her channel. But I was like, okay, so he sprinkled it a little bit everywhere. Okay. Go ahead, Mama E. And I'm happy to see Mama E still be, in good shape, looking good, and able to, live out her dreams. I think sometimes I always say, I feel like I hope when I get older that I don't become stagnant, and I still want to go out and do things and live. And a lot of people at her age might not even health-wise be able to. So the fact that she's still able to do those things and live out her dreams, I love it for them. And I thought it was a cute little show. I would definitely tune in and get a recipe. I don't know if I can cook like them, but I think
it was cute that they, just also like reminiscing on stuff. It wasn't just cooking, they like sat down, had their moments, and I thought it was real cute. So Trina, she went to go see the grief counselor, Spirit. Spirit asked her, after she told her that she had PTSD, how does she see herself now? Trina said, like, she still has a lot of work to do. Trina said that she has nightmares that are like movies going in her head. And Spirit said, she wanted to discuss all the different snapshots. And Trina told her she was not ready. Okay, she ain't ready for that just yet. And she got emotional. Spirit said, if it hurts you to touch it and it lives in you until we touch it, I can't help you fix it if you can't let it go. I said, oh.
When I tell you,
I was gonna get that exact the way she said it.
Oh no! But when I tell you, I was really. I already told y'all. I already admitted to y'all what my plans for Nels and the rest of my family members are. Okay, I didn't already told her I do not grieve well. And when I tell you, I was Trina when she was like, the people will be coming back and visiting her, and she was like, "Do you want them to?" And I was like, "Nope, nope. I'm with Trina. Nope." But when that's all you think about and you're grieving so badly, absolutely. When you close your eyes, that's exactly what you see.
So Trina mentioned how she tries to distract herself, from these thoughts. She said she used to be able to control her thoughts, but, not any longer. And it started more so after her husband, Gabe, passed. She said when she was grieving Gabe's death, she was kind of punished for it by her now husband, Vaughn. But he was able to deal with it, after having some understanding, really, what it really was, that it wasn't about him. It's the time they spent together, how long, how long he was a part of her life. He's the father of her children. So I guess he got better about it. What's that face?
Go ahead, finish before I say what I need to say.
It wasn't given that that's really what happened, because she didn't even mention that. She mentioned Vaughn, Gabe, when she was talking to Vaughn about it. Anyways, um, she says sometimes they both visit her in her sleep, and it makes it hard for her to sleep. She said sometimes it adds to the grief, and sometimes it takes it away. And I can completely understand that.
Sometimes
She
it's comforting and sometimes it's triggering because it just makes you realize even more. Well, I know this person is gone, but here they are in my dream. Like, and so it's not as comforting because it's almost like, so you're really not here. Like,
Mhm. For some reason, I feel like it's more comforting when you don't realize it's a dream, when you're in the dream.
right.
Yeah, when you know it's a dream.
But I feel like it was well, see, I've had two scenarios where one, it was triggering because in the dream I was still kind of grieving and I knew that person was gone, but then I saw them and then I was like, oh my God, you're not supposed to. So it was like kind of scary,
Mhm.
but I realized that person was coming back to me to give me comfort because I was grieving so hard.
Yeah.
And basically my whole thing was I didn't get to say goodbye, and literally they said goodbye and I never saw them again in my dream. So I literally knew that was the purpose of them returning, but it freaked me out so bad. And then to your point, sometimes just knowing, seeing that person, like, okay, I know you're in a safe space, a good space, you're no longer hurt, you're no longer, it does make you feel better on the, on the other side. But
Yeah. She said when she closes her eyes, she sees Tracy ill. She sees the color leaving her body, and it makes her fearful that if it were to happen to, any one of them, they're not going to move. They may move further apart because they never came together basically after what happened to Tracy. So she's worried, that her and her sisters may distance themselves even more.
mhm.
So apparently Trina, Vaughn, Tawanda, and her boyfriend.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let's stop right there before you start that.
Okay.
So we all heard what Trina said, right? She said that she felt like she was punished for
Hmm.
grieving.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, I do tune into Trina's channel, and they often do a recap after every episode to, give her perspective, her and Vaughn. This week, I missed it, and I'm mad that I did, but I can,
You mean
if
of
y'all don't,
not of
if
this?
y'all
You mean of the cooking show?
know this episode.
Oh, okay, okay, of this episode. Okay.
And I missed it this week, but let me just say this. If you go on YouTube right now, there are several content creators talking about it. Vaughn doubled down basically on what she said and said that, and then I think he went as far as to make a statement to say that I felt like when you grieve for Tracy, it was a lot like how you grieve for your ex-husband, and it just made me feel like, why am I here? And when I tell you, her chat ate him the up, okay, lit him up. And I literally just watched like clips of the video before I came up here. And when I tell you I felt for her, because as she was trying to like explain her position and her point, he's like, I just don't understand. Like he was cutting her off. It was just not the Vaughn that we like normally see. And
Yeah.
maybe because they were on live, but it was triggering to me because I was like, oh my God, like she has a right, like this man. And if I'm not mistaken, I remember her saying those kids I don't know if those were Gabe's kids. I think that he just helped raise them.
I don't think they were Gabe's.
So that's what's even worse, is because a man came into your life, helped raise your children that weren't his, played their father. Absolutely, I'm going to have some sort of feeling and grieving. And then you feel triggered by the fact that when I lose my sister, it looks a lot like the grief that I had for my husband. And now I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He wasn't really there for her when she was grieving when she lost her sister.
I don't know. He did say that it bothered him and he didn't understand. It was when I tell you, y'all go see it for yourselves. I'm sure there'll be plenty of videos on YouTube and people have cut it, and so you can see the it of the it. But when I tell you the internet, matter of fact, I even saw it on either it was Neighborhood Talk or Shade Room or Jasmine Brand, and they posted it, and it's not a good look. And I hope next week, I pray next week that he comes back with a full-fledged apology. I really do, because the way that he treated Trina on a live, and it was crazy. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it, and I was not expecting that from Vaughn.
Mm.
But go ahead, girl.
Okay, so Trina, Vaughn, Tawanda, and Tawanda's boyfriend Sean are headed to DC to go check on Lil Kevin because nobody's heard from him in a few days. Vaughn feels like Trina has been deflecting and said, when she came back from her session, she was kind of off to herself, and he wants to know how'd it go. He wants to know what happened. So she told him that she had to kind of why can I never say this? Compartmentalize. Jesus.
Oh, I was gonna say, are you trying to say carpe diem?
No,
seize the day.
a lot of things because it was a lot, and really, she said she's not ready to talk about her grief outside of her therapy sessions. She also mentioned what? Oh, Tony. Okay. She also mentioned that Tony shared how serious her health is getting. And she knows that it's serious because Tony usually does not divulge things like this. And she wants Tony to talk to somebody, as well. So, they decided to make things lighter. And she said, I'm guessing while they're in DC, they plan to do something fun with, just the four of them. So I'm guessing maybe they do like a double date type of thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So Tawanda's working on her doctorate in humanitarian. Look, I'm messing up words. Humanitarian.
See, I can say
Okay.
that.
Her and her man are in a good place, and she loves being a hands-on mom. We get to
I saw
see
a ring on that finger.
Huh?
I saw a ring on that finger.
Which is crazy because it's not supposed to happen until later this in the season. I think they're going to show the proposal. I do know that they're engaged, but I thought it was supposed to happen later on in this season, but whatever. Maybe she'll take it off and put it back on,
I was gonna say, or maybe they're just gonna record it just for the show.
Well, that's what I was saying, because maybe, I don't know, whatever. Look, girl, if you already picked out your ring and wearing it, I ain't mad at it. I do the same, and then do the little engagement thing. Basically, she tries to call Kevin twice and they haven't gotten any response. It's going straight to voicemail. She says that he normally doesn't take more than 2 days to respond to her or Trina, and they're concerned about his health. Basically his health, and because apparently he had started having seizures after the passing of Tracy. So she picks up her kids and lets them know about her plan to go visit and check on little Kevin. They obviously want to go check on their little cousin, which I thought was so sweet. And she reminds them they have school. And and this is an adult trip. She was, trying to be nice and not say that, but she was happy that the kids were,
It was like, we done with our midterms. Like, what else? They said this is a personal thing. This is a family matter.
Right. We should get a note out. I definitely thought they was gonna ask for her to write a note.
When she was like, well, I'll give it some thought. They was like, like, no, there ain't no need to think about it, Mom. The answer should be yes. That's it.
Right.
Just leave it.
So Tawana says that, like Nell said, so as they pull up, Kevin calls and says that they had his phone and that's why he didn't reach out, which that's a relief to everyone, even the viewers, because I was on edge as well. Tawana says that she still plans to go visit and check on him and basically just let him know that they're there, there for support. And I think that's absolutely needed right now, especially, and I'm not going to speak to, I don't want to speak on, I just don't think that maybe his father didn't, because if I'm correct, Tawana said it was Daddy Braxton.
Oh.
Or was it the brother? It was either Daddy Braxton or the brother. That's how he was able to call her. One of them got in touch with, got in touch with him.
So I did hear the dad thing, but I thought it was through his dad.
That's why I'm saying I don't think it was through Big Kev. I don't. I don't. And that's just, maybe I heard wrong. Y'all drop down in the comments, please. I'm always here to be corrected. I ain't nobody perfect, but that's what I heard. And it just made me sad, because I was just like, well, his dad's right there. So I would hope that the relationship is not that strained, or, that he wouldn't pop up and help his son. But I don't know, but yeah, y'all, that was pretty much the episode. Let us know what y'all thought. Drop down in the comments. If you haven't already, please make sure that y'all hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure you subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure that you guys are following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yeah, y'all, and y'all been listening too, because the followers have been going up on each of the platforms. So I can appreciate y'all for listening. And shout out to Xavier for always being on TikTok and liking our videos. He is so sweet. I love Xavier, even though he loves to be argumentative. Well, not with me, really be, but I love Xavier. So yeah, y'all have a great evening, a great week, and yeah, we'll catch you next week for another recap. Well, I think next week is a holiday weekend, so we're gonna see how these recaps gonna go, but we're gonna get it to you as soon as possible, depending on schedules and whatever. But anyway, y'all have a great weekend. Bye. Or no, not even great week. Sunday, y'all. I'm sorry. I wish it was the weekend. Bye.